Welcome to a special half hour of contemporary Christian music featuring the words and music of Dallas Holm. With segments from Knott's Berry Farm, a special TBN soundstage, the recording studio, and a concert performance.
I got love, love, love in my heart. I got peace like a river, never will part. I got joy on my mind, a smile on my face. We used to have a hit. I got love in this place. I got love.
Now, Dallas Holm.
I got peace like a river, never will part. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and it flows from heaven above. You take every sin you have, and you wash it away. You just jump in the water today. You won't drown if you learn to pray. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and he's flowing away. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and it flows from heaven above. You take every sin you have, and you wash it away. You just jump in the water today. You won't drown if you learn to pray. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and he's flowing away. There's a river flowing out from heaven to sea. There's a river reaching out for you and me. Streams of living water, clear as they can be. So come on in, the water is fine if you set you free. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and it flows from heaven above. You take every sin you have, and you wash it away. You just jump in the water today. You won't drown if you learn to pray. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and he's flowing away. If you need a cleansing, children, don't delay. There's a mighty river flowing here today. It can wash and make you clean as you can be. So come on in, the water's fine. It will set you free. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and it flows from heaven above. You take every sin you have, and you wash it away. You just jump in the water today. You won't drown if you learn to pray. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and he's flowing away. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and it flows from heaven above. You take every sin you have, and you wash it away. Jump in the water today. You won't drown if you learn to pray. Well, my Jesus is a river of love, and he's flowing away.
Hi, I'm Dallas Holm. I suppose that out of all the songs that I've written and sung, if I was to draw up categories for them, say, well, what category do most of your songs fall into? I suppose maybe evangelism would be the most, because for so many years my heart was only to reach the unsaved, and not to say that it isn't now, but the Lord has given me a lot more understanding and compassion for the body of Christ also. But still, I find myself with a burden, especially for young people, and I'm motivated by a commission that I've been given, and it's not just me, but Jesus said to go into all the world and preach the gospel.
Hitting the road one more time, leaving the wife and the kids behind. I'd sure never do this for nobody but you. String my guitars, pack up my clothes, get on the bus and then get on the roads. I'd never walk out the door if it wasn't for you. But you left heaven for me. Hit the roads and the shores of Galilee. Gave yourself at Calvary. So I gotta go and tell them what you've done for me. Burgers and fries, motel rooms, short nights and long afternoons. I'd sure never do this for nobody but you. Loaded at 4, focus the lights, get ready for one more night. I'd never walk on a stage if it wasn't for you. But you left heaven for me. Hit the roads and the shores of Galilee. Gave yourself at Calvary. So I gotta go and tell them what you've done for me. But you left heaven for me. Hit the roads and the shores of Galilee. Gave yourself at Calvary. So I gotta go and tell them what you've done for me. So I gotta go and tell them what you've done for me.
Losing Game was actually a song that was born out of the video game syndrome that we've had in our country. It's kind of on the decline now, but a few years ago when everybody was, you'd walk into just about any place, gas station, store, anything else, they all had video games, and people put their money in and keep feeding these quarters in trying to win. The idea was to win, get a certain score, but you never really win. I mean, they're getting your money and you don't walk away with anything. Even the points on the board stay on the board, And I don't know, it's probably kind of sermonizing, but I thought it was kind of a commentary on life in general, how we spend ourselves and we spend all that we have, and really have nothing to show for it if what we spend is for the cause of the world. And life, as the song says, life without the Lord is just a losing game. You keep putting in, but you don't get anything out. The only real dividends that are ever paid in life are those things that you do for eternity.
It's a losing game. Life without the Lord is just a losing game. And it's a crying shame, 'cause when you lose, you've only got yourself to blame. He's tried to tell you so many times. You turn your back and just close your mind and play the losing game. Don't be such a fool and play the losing game. If you're gambling life away, moment by moment, day by day, yeah, you're taking chances that are never gonna pay. You're the only one to blame. Really ought to be ashamed. No one ever wins at a losing game. Well, it's a losing game. Life without the Lord is just a losing game. And it's a crying shame, 'cause when you lose, you've only got yourself to blame. Games are made to win or lose. Will you play it? It's yours to choose. But no one ever wins at a losing game. It's a losing game. Life without the Lord is just a losing game. And it's a crying shame, 'cause when you lose, you've only got yourself to blame. It's a losing game. Life without the Lord is just a losing game. And it's a crying shame, 'cause when you lose, you've only got yourself to blame. He's tried to tell you so many times. You turn your back and just close your mind and play the losing game. Don't be such a fool and play the losing game. Losing game. Crying shame. Losing game. Crying shame. Losing game. Crying shame. Losing game. Crying shame.
I tend to write a lot of songs that reflect on past problems or hurts, and some people say you shouldn't do that. You should never look back, just look ahead. But the Bible says that he who is forgiven much loveth much. I think it's important to look back and to recall where the Lord has brought us from. And that song, At My Worst, probably does that more than anything else I've written. It just looks right down into the soul and the remembrance of, you know, I was at the worst point in my life when you found me and when you loved me. And I think it's encouraging. I think that song stirs remembrances and encourages Christians to suddenly remember. Because sometimes we have to say, as David, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation. We've lost the joy because we've lost the concept of what he's done in our lives. And I think it's good to be reminded once in a while.
At my worst, you found me. At my worst, you died. At my worst, you loved me. And at my worst, you tried to tell me that the best thing I could do would be to give my life to you. At my worst, you love me, and now I love you too. Could you love me, Jesus? How did you know my name? Why did you save me, Jesus? Oh, I'll never know how you love me so, and I'll never see what you saw in me. How could you love me, Jesus? How did you know my name? Why did you save me, Jesus? Oh, I'll never know how you love me so. At my worst, you found me. At my worst, you died. At my worst, you loved me. And at my worst, you tried to tell me that the best thing I could do would be to give my life to you. At my worst, you loved me, and now I love you too. I showed you my heart, I sang you my song, and you heard my guitar play. In a minute or so, I may be gone, so there's just one more thing I should say. All that matters in this life below is not what you are or how much you know. All the world's knowledge can make the mind smart, the difference is made in the heart. I sing songs of joy, I sing songs of pain, songs that will move the soul. But if I should never sing them again, here's something you got to know. All that matters in this life below is not what you are or how much you know. All the world's knowledge can make the mind smart, but the difference is made in the heart. This life below is not what you are or how much you know. All the world's knowledge can make the mind smart, but the difference is made in the heart. But the difference is made in the heart.
Many times people ask what my favorite song is, and they expect it to be a particular song, and I think sometimes they're surprised when I tell them what my favorite song is, because it's not the one that they might think it is. My favorite song, in fact, if the Lord came along and said, okay, out of all the songs you've written, all the songs you sang, I want you to pick one song, this is the only one you can sing, I think I would pick this song, and it's the song entitled He Knew Me Then. I think it, in the simplest possible way, describes my heart as a minister, as a musical communicator. The message of Jesus, his love, his sacrifice, in just a simple little song, it spells out really the complete plan of salvation. And it just has always remained. I wrote it probably close to 10 years ago, and just has always remained probably my favorite song of all.
He knew me then, he knows me now, and he died for me. He loved me then, and he loves me now. Oh, how can it be? He saw my face, he knew the place that I would be today. He knew me then, he knows me now, and he loves me. Some people say that he died one day, but that was long ago. Well, I'm sure that he was a very good man, but me he did not know. Listen, my friend, what I say is true, that he knew me, and he sure knew you. He knew you then, he knows you now, and he loves you. He knows you now, and he died for you. He loved you then, and he loves you now. Oh, I know it's true. us then, He knows us now, and He loves us still somehow.
Jesus said to go into all the world and preach the gospel. And all of us have been commissioned to do that. Now, don't you look at me and say, well, you're a minister, that's easy for you to do. Any one of us that have ever become a Christian automatically became a minister, and we automatically received a commission at that moment to go into all the world and preach the gospel. I preach through my singing. I preach through my preaching. We preach through the way we live. There's a lot of different ways in which we preach the gospel all over the world. And into all the world may mean across the ocean, might mean across the street, might mean across the table. But we have all been commissioned to evangelize and to win the world for Jesus. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I encourage you to do.
At my worst, you found me. At my worst, you died. At my worst, you loved me. And at my worst, you tried to tell